Hello.
Good morning, Sophie.
Feeling so relieved after handing in your final report in the academic building, aren't you?
Hee. Thanks for staying up all night to help with my report.
You don't call me just to say thank you.
Hey, Sophie, you're so clever. I just met members of the occult club on my way back home. And we had a chat. A member said that he heard a bizarre rumor in one of his family gatherings. It says there is something interesting in a remote small town called Vosiden.
Do you want to go?
We'll go. Just 2 of us. Okay. They don't have time. Sophie.
Okay. Then I should prepare luggage for a 1-week trip?
Yes. I'll buy the train tickets. Will you pack my bags for me, Sophie?
Sure.
Then I'll be back in a minute.
I have been doing this for every trip, haven't I?
Sophie rolled on her bed, repeating the name of the town, Vosiden. She had heard that name somewhere before. She went over to the desk. The books and literature that she used last night for Elizabeth's report was still there. She swept everything to the other side of the desk and turned on the computer. When the box-sized computer booted up, she searched for the name, Vosiden. After a few moments, Sophie saw the results on the screen.
16th century, an execution site for witches, an important place for the study in the field of religion and history, witch hunt, a place specialized for execution. You guys sure know how to pick a good place to go on an adventure.
Sophie took out a bag and grabbed some small stones with spells carved on them from the bag. She threw them on the desk, followed by throwing a handful of tea leaves on those stones. She observed the distribution of the tea leaves and then read the spell on the stones.
Blade, demon, sacrifice, warrior. I don't understand, why are these all bad omens?
Sophie thought about it and packed up whatever could be useful later.
Phew. I'm so exhausted.
Then go and lie down on bed. I'll put your bag here. It is truly a torture to be on the train for the whole night.
Actually, my hunger is torturing me more than my fatigue.
I remember there is a restaurant on the ground floor of the inn. I'll take our identity cards with me in a second, then we'll go there together.
Good. Sophie, you are so nice. How can I live without you, my dear Sophie?
Let's go. Time to have breakfast.
It was a small town. There were no tourists around even during weekends. Sophie and Elizabeth then became the most prominent objects in this empty restaurant.
Hey, ladies, how can I help you?
May we have the breakfast set on the menu?
Sure. They're on me. Usually, we don't have many tourists in the town, so it's a surprise to see 2 pretty ladies here.
Thank you, sir.
Are we the only 2 tourists here?
No, we've got more people this winter than usual. A young man about your age came here a week ago. I also heard that a man went to the Fairsang mansion this morning, before your arrival. Mr. Fairsang. I should say that gentleman is a squire, an important person here anyway. Mr. Albert Fairsang's guests must be from the same class.
Oh, I don't think we can hear the title squire very often. Is he a celebrity? Did he come here to enjoy life?
Not really. They've been living in this land for a long time. They're already here since I was a child. The adults have been saying that the family used to serve as a very important role before.
An important role? Is he an official, or landlord?
No, how can I put it? It has nothing to do with the government.
Witch hunter, people from the church, or executioner?
The innkeeper didn't expect Sophie to be straight to the point that much. He stunned and then showed the girls a smile, which seemed a little bit odd to them.
You know this place a lot, young lady. So that's why you are here, too?
The innkeeper pointed his finger upwards. Elizabeth was stunned for a second and then reacted.
Yes, we've heard rumors about this place. We came here just to know more about it.
The innkeeper's expression told the girls that he knew it.
To know more, when you actually see it, you will want more than that. Lucky you, Mr. Fairsang has just sent his man to inform us that he was sorry that there had been no ceremony for the past month. And that a new prophet would perform the ceremony at midnight tonight.
They were not expecting words like prophet and ceremony to come out of the innkeeper's mouth. They were stunned for a moment, but Sophie quickly picked up the conversation.
There should always be a price, correct?
I'm sure you'll need to pay some money, but I'm not taking it. I'll just take you there. I won't watch the ceremony with you. How does it sound?
Good. No problem. That's very kind of you, sir.
What a sweet talker you are, young lady. Then, let's wait here at 11:30 p.m. tonight.
Okay.
The two of them finished their breakfast and went back to their room to rest.
I thought you came here for the literature of the witch hunt.
That's one of the reasons. Actually, yesterday when I was talking with the members of the occult club, someone said that there was a prophet here who could deliver God's revelations. Anyone who was lost could come to this town and receive them.
Are you lost?
Certainly not, but curious. Sophie.
I'm not angry.
I know you are not angry. I am not disrespecting the gods. I just want to come and see.
I know. I feel like there is something very wrong with this place. They seem to be treating this ceremony like a business and they're quite experienced at it.
Well, that's different from my expectation, the innkeeper's attitude. Not only does he believe in this kind of stuff that people normally don't believe in, but also, he's already used to it. That means the ceremony has been existing for some time, so that the locals think it's normal to have it. If this magical ceremony have been existing for some time, why is it so rarely mentioned outside the town? It's not on the internet, it's not in the magazines. We wouldn't have known about it if one of our members hadn't heard about it through several layers of connections. This could be attractive to tourists and business. Just by saying that there is a ceremony that can give people guidance, no matter if it's true or not, can make the place thrive.
They treat the ceremony as a secret business, that's why I think something is wrong, there might be something hidden in the dark. I
know.
I had an intuition that the ceremony is real, and that Albert Fairsang was earning profit from it, probably as a cult.
So why has it been closed for the past month?
I don't know. Didn't the innkeeper say earlier that there was a new prophet? Maybe it's because the last prophet couldn't continue with the ceremony for some reason.
Let's say for the moment that the ceremony is real. There must be a price to pay for contact with gods.
Everyone who has studied the occult knows that there are gains and losses, and that asking the gods for something comes at a price. Something bad appears in my mind right now. Something that's a bit beyond my imagination. Now I hope all those things to be fake.
Me too. When we were exploring other urban legends before, I hoped they were real, but now I just wish the ceremony was not.
Even if it's fake, it does not necessarily mean everything is fine. That so-called prophet might have profited from the ceremony, then why did he stop it? Something must has happened to prevent the prophet from continuing the ceremony.
We are not sure about many things. We can't make any conclusion for now. The ceremony may not be what we think it is. Should we ask more about it? Or should we go to the library?
Go to the library. It's going to look strange if we ask more.
Also, tired after eating.
Get some sleep. You didn't sleep well on the train, did you?
What about you?
I'm here with you.
Hee. Then sleep with me. We may not have a chance to have enough rest for the following few days. What a troublesome ceremony. In the early morning.
It doesn't seem like a decent god.
Stop thinking about it. Sleep.
Elizabeth soon fell asleep, but cautious Sophie could not. At the sight of relaxed Elizabeth, her worries slowly melt away. A feeling of exhaustion followed. Sophie gradually closed her eyes.
Hoo.
You're a good sleeper.
Sophie, who just woke up, tried to get up but found herself entangled in Elizabeth's arms.
It's time to get up.
No.
It's time to get up, it's afternoon.
A few more minutes.
No way.
It took a few moments before Elizabeth could really wake up. By the time they had freshened up, it was already 2 p.m.
Can't we sleep a little longer?
Aren't you going to the library? If you sleep again, the library will be closed.
Well,
let's go. Want something to eat? Or do you want to buy some bread on the way?
Let's go to the library first.
As they were leaving the hotel, a dark-haired man was entering the inn and passed them by.
Let's look at the library's archive first.
They were well trained in finding literature at the university and quickly found books related to local history. They skimmed over those books about the contemporary history of the town Vosiden, but they failed to find any information they wanted to see. As Sophie and Elizabeth stopped at a bookshelf, a young man with brown hair and brown eyes approached with some old books. This slim young man seemed to have good manners. And he had something on him that Sophie was familiar with.
Excuse me.
Ah, sorry.
I saw you were searching for something here. Are you looking for these books? These are books donated by the church, and they're about the local history before the 18th century.
Yes, we are particularly interested in the history around the 16th century.
The witch hunt.
Exactly.
Fellows.
We major in history and literature at one of the universities in the capital.
I don't study here, but my major is similar to yours, history and religion. I'm Michelle Lever. Nice to meet you.
The young man speaking with an accent freed up his hand to shake hands with two university girls. Sophie and Elizabeth introduced themselves.
Sophie Elf. Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Name's Elizabeth Sybeth. I major in literature and culture.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Here, take these books. If you want to know more about the witch hunt, I have other information in my notebook.
Please let us read them.
Sure, I'm here for my thesis and I just happen to help.
You're in your last year?
Master's graduation thesis.
Wow.
Mitchell took them to a table with tons of books and notes on it. Mitchell put down the books for the girls to read before picking up his own notebook and flipping through it. Sophie and Elizabeth read through the books on the table.
These books are not the original copies in the 16th century but are handwritten copies that the church collated. I suspect that some content was collated for a few times. These books are basically records of things happened during the witch hunt, something like a record of executions or a diary. Apart from the church, there is a name that was frequently mentioned.
The Fairsang family, where all the executioners came from.
Yes. How do you know that?
Heard from someone else.
The one we talked about this morning.
The executioner has always been an awkward profession, usually passed down from generation to generation. They are alienated from people while enjoying special treatment.
That's why the innkeeper said that this morning.
Yeah, the executioner family should have relevant records or documents.
That's the point.
Mitchell showed his notes to the girls.
This is from another book that I found, which is about witchcraft and magic around the world. It says that there are several spells originated in Vosiden. I think the witches who were sent here taught the locals these magics before their death, or the church learned these magics in trails. Most of those magics are normal blessing spells and curses. I am interested in one magic in particular.
Michael's finger pointed to a few lines of text.
The magic of omnipotence and omniscience.
Could this be?
The ceremony.
Go ahead. We'll talk about what we know later.
My thesis is about minor religions and their ceremony, so I'm more interested about that. First of all, why have these records not been burned by the church and have them survived until now? The church wouldn't allow such knowledge to exist, would it?
It's very simple, by word of mouth, or someone recorded them privately.
So, who had access to those witches at that time?
People from the church, and guards.
And the executioner.
Yes.
So that means that the magic must have been passed on by these people.
These people may still keep records of this.
But we can't find it here. You've just looked for it, and there's nothing related to magic, right? That means that the church destroyed all the records they could find. So what we know now are things that has been handed down orally, or is recorded privately. And then the second question. The phrase omnipotence and omniscience here, who is it describing?
God.
Or the devil. Wanting to be worshipped, devils will pretend to be omnipotent and omniscient, and become a fake god to deceive humans and to attract believers.
There are no details about the magic. It only records the existence of it. What kind of being do omnipotence and omniscience refer to here? And to which religious system does this being belong? Did a religion, other than Christianity or Catholicism, exist here, or somewhere else? Did the victims of the witch hunt bring this religion to Vosiden and spread their knowledge?
So, you're trying to trace the relationship between this magic and the religion behind?
That's right. Do you know anything about it?
Do you know that there is a rumor here?
What is it? I've been here for a week and I've interviewed a few locals, but I've never heard of it.
This is what I heard from our university's occult club. There is a prophet here who can deliver revelations through ceremony. After performing the ceremony, the prophet can guide people and answer their questions. My friend said that many businessmen visited the prophet.
Then we learned this morning that the ceremony had been suspended for a month but would be held again tonight. The innkeeper told us that there was a new prophet tonight.
The magic of omnipotence and omniscience.
Yes. You do want to investigate the magic, don't you? What if we work together?
Sure. This is my phone number. Now I'm staying in the inn.
Then I'll write our phone numbers in your notebook.
We are also staying in the inn. The innkeeper said he could bring us to the ceremony.
I'm going too. We have to watch the ceremony.